is up, YouTube? It's your brother Franchise Guy, coming at you again with another episode of Madden 19 Franchise Mode, featuring your Philadelphia Eagles. See right here, Carson Wentz, Player of the Week right there. Great game last week without our punter. Taking a look at some scouting and get some free safeties. This is the final season right now, so scouting really doesn't matter that much. But just something to do to take a look at the draft class that we do have coming up, in case we were to maybe extend it by an extra, like the off season or so. Just again, bring up when the Madden 20 franchise will start. There's no exact start date yet, just because I'm waiting for Operation Sports Forums to get the full game. So what happened is, so what's happening on Twitter is right now, Ryden Rosters, the Twitter face of Operation Sports Forums and all their rosters from the show 19 to Madden 20 and those guys. He put out a tweet saying to DM him about rosters, draft classes that we'd want. So I sent him a DMs asking him them, just because I know the majority of what they do is for PlayStation for the show 19. Currently asking him pretty much just what his plans were for Xbox One with Madden 20, and pretty much what he put out a tweet stating that Madden 20 will have draft classes for both PS4 and Xbox One. It's great to hear, super great to hear right there. Thing is, we are just gonna have to wait for whenever it comes out, which is the problem, because I have no clue when it's gonna come out. So I'm gonna hopefully find something to plug into Sundays right there, just so we do have uploads every day of the week. But Carson Wentz starting this game off pretty well. Gets a nice little dump off right here. Like a 7-yard pickup right there on 3rd and 5 to Nelson Aguilar. So this game's starting off great. Madden 20 is gonna start off great. My career is gonna start off super fast. It's gonna be on different upload days too, so be tuned. Stay tuned for when that will be coming out, because it'll be the final episode of Madden 19. My career will be go over that stuff right there, when the upload dates will change and all that fun stuff, and how it's not really going to affect what's happening. It's just going to pretty much just add an extra day of the week to it, for better lack of the sense of the words. But I'm looking forward to Madden 20 though. Super pumped for it. Super pumped for it. But in case you guys were wondering about this game in specific, during the past offseason, the Philadelphia Eagles signed one Mr. Sean Lee to be a veteran presence in the linebacking core, along with Jordan Hicks and Nigel Bradham. I'm not saying Sean Lee's starting, because he's not. We have Trey Lamar, so they're not going to take away from the young guy. But Sean Lee is a very good rotational piece right there. Throw him in at linebacker when you need to, give Hicks a breather, give Bradham a breather, and give Trey Lamar a breather. He's a super good piece to have. And if you guys were wondering, if you guys have been following all this series, this is the first game back at Dallas. So yeah, welcome back, Sean Lee, to Dallas. So that's always a good thing to see. He spent the first part of his career here, had some injuries, really set him back. Kept him from being an elite linebacker. He was always a good linebacker. But I feel like if he didn't have all these concussion problems, all these injury problems, he would probably go down as one of the best linebackers of all time. I know Cowboys fans will always be saying, oh, well, he still is a great linebacker. He still is one of the best all times. Go Cowboys and all that fun stuff. Problem is, you can't compare him to a Mike Singletary or any of those guys, or Brian Urlacher, because these guys didn't really have injuries in their career. And when they did have injuries, they still played full seasons alongside them. They had large periods of super productive seasons. Is Sean Lee going to be a Hall of Famer? I think he has a chance to be a Hall of Famer. I don't think he's going to be a first ballot guy. But I think the way the NFL is set up, with the amount of backlog for the NFL Hall of Fame, that there will definitely be a time where Sean Lee does, put on the gold jacket for Cooperstown. I guess not Cooperstown, but you know what I'm saying. For Canton. That's what football is. It's Canton, not Cooperstown. But especially the fact that he's a Cowboy, guaranteed Hall of Fame because he's a Cowboy. It's just not going to be uh, right away because I don't think he has the ability to go in right away. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not. I mean, you can tell me in the comments below what you think about that. If you think Sean Lee's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's going to sit on waivers for a few years. That's what I like about baseball. Baseball gives you the first. It's like, hey, we're gonna add these guys to the ballot every year, and guess what? Hey, we're gonna. You don't get 10% of the vote, you're off. You're not gonna be on next year. After that, you're gonna pretty much sit down, and if you get 75% of the vote, hey, guess what? You're in. You're in if you get the majority of the vote, like the vast majority of the vote. If you don't, you're not. And if you don't do that after 10 seasons, guess what? You're off the list. You're not a Hall of Famer. You can't convince a bunch of panelists that you're a Hall of Famer. And, it prevents backlog, prevents guys from the 80s from still being on the list. You got guys like Jack Morris who, just recently got taken off the list. I think it was a couple years ago. And Jack Morris probably should have been a Hall of Famer, but guess what? He was not voted in. He sat on the ballot the entire thing. Like Edgar Martinez, he sat on the ballot to the final year, and then he got inducted in the final year because there's other guys who deserve to go in that people were giving votes to Edgar Martinez. That taking away votes for Edgar Martinez because they knew he was going to sit around for a couple years, and they could vote him in his final season. Like Roy Halladay got voted in his first year. Who would have saw that coming? In my defense, I didn't think Roy Halladay was going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I really didn't. I thought maybe second or third ballot, hopefully. Not first ballot. That right there, that blew my mind. That's something he deserves. Roy Halladay, I mean, didn't really have the wins. Have 203 career wins. And, I mean, he had the strikeouts, so he had the innings pitched, just didn't have all the wins. I think that's because, not even just because of that. Roy Halladay had a great career. You saw how dominant he was with the Blue Jays, even on bad Blue Jays teams. He was still dominant. But, yeah, I think Sean Lee gonna sit on the ballot for a few years, be part of that logjam, and then eventually get voted in. That's nothing off Sean Lee. Sean Lee's still a good player. It's the reason why we brought him into Philly to, compete against the Dallas Cowboys. And, show up against his former team and do all sorts of fun things with the Eagles and win another ring. But, I don't know. Maybe I'm being overzealous in my approval and disapproval of Sean Lee as a player. Maybe he's good enough to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm just underthinking things. I'm an Eagles fan. I don't know the Sean Lee all these Cowboys fans know. So be it. That's how it be sometimes. I'm wrong. I'm wrong a lot, really. But guess what? I get over it, I get past it, and I move on. I fix my opinion, and I make a better, educated guess on things. So yeah, that's what I've noticed about these franchise episodes. They become less of franchise episodes and more of like 13, 14-minute long rants about certain things. I promise that when Madden 20 does come out, we'll be changing up the ranting, go back to the way to start off with actually highlights. I mean, I have some pretty big plans though for Madden when it comes out, and how in depth I want it to go for the franchise. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I keep saying I don't know these things, but I do know, but I just don't know how to word them. And I know exactly how I want to do it. I know exactly in my head how I want to, span it out. It's going to be all Sunday. You're going to have Madden 20 episodes. As soon as Madden 20 rosters drop, we're going to get right into that. We're just going to kill it. We're going to have a great time playing Madden 20. It's going to be tons of episodes for it. It's going to probably be a little quicker to start off than Madden 19 was. I'm not guaranteeing anything, so don't hold me to it if it comes out just as fast, and I don't know. But I'm over here worrying about getting all stuff done, and guess what? Madden 20 hasn't even dropped yet. I guess it has just dropped on the 2nd. So it just dropped. I mean, one more week of Madden 19 episodes. And after that, we're going to get into Madden 20 franchise as soon as those Operation Reform draft classes are done. But yeah, they're just waiting for the full game to come out to get those done, and I can't wait for them to come out. There's a lot of interesting players coming out in this draft. So you got Leo Lewis out of Ole Miss should be coming out. You have Tua, you have Justin Herbert. I mean, with what I'm gonna do with my team, it's gonna be pretty wild. I think a lot of people are gonna enjoy it. I think a lot of people are gonna hate it. But I think in theory, it's gonna bring a lot of people to the channel because it's gonna be a very great, in-depth franchise. It's gonna bring a different side of things. And one of the franchises I was looking into, there's some old Saints franchises. Just how in depth it went, and I hate to say it, but I forget what his name is right now. I mean, it's a real shame that I forgot who made that franchise. So I'm not trying to say who it is, but he had a Saints franchise, like Madden 25, and it was so in depth, had like 200 something episodes to it. Yeah, that's my goal. That's what I want to do for Madden 20. I want to have a series that in depth where I can have a 365-day year having 200 episodes. 250 episodes maybe. 250 is a little much, but 200 I think is a very good stretch goal for a series like that. Take a look at the stats today. Wentz 26 for 35, 4 touchdowns, no picks. McCoy 39 yards, Lynch 3 yards. Not a good running day at all. It's gross. Ertz, Aguilar 83 yards, Jeffrey 80, Ertz 76 and a touchdown. Nelson Aguilar also had a touchdown. Trevor McCoy had 2 receiving touchdowns, 24 yards. Blocking, 1 sack allowed by Aaron Evans. It's a darn shame. Defense led the team by Fletcher Cox with tackles, 2 sacks, 4 tackles for loss. Darby with a pick right here. Look at that. Hicks had a pick and half a sack. So we got Nick Bosa at half a sack. So I mean, this D line at front 7 is pretty mean. One of probably the meanest front 7s I've ever seen in my entire life. But if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. If you guys have missed any episodes, just put this down below. Ton of Madden 19 content. Until next time, YouTube, peace out, rock on, stay super classy, I guess.